Hello friends, welcome to Dr. Vet channel. I am Dr. P.R. Patel, Professor Head Veterinary Medicine. In continuation with the endoparasitic diseases, another very important disease, toxocariasis in dog. This is very important because in almost all countries this disease is existing. Difficult to eradicate this disease. And it is important not only for the students, veterinary students, but for the dog practitioners. So I have prepared it in detail. It is very important those who are consulting dog or those who are at the dispensaries. In this we will see definition, etiology and life cycle. In this we study the life cycle in detail because life cycle is also detailed, very long, and the parasites roam all over the body. So life cycle become a complex. It is not a complicated. It is simple once you understand. It is very simple. Toxocariasis in dog. First understand the disease, its definition. It is caused by a very famous worm, Toxacara canis. The main host, dog and fox. But in domestic animal, we are interested in dog. The location of this adult parasite is in small intestine of dog. Remember this thing. Location, the place of residence of adult parasite is a small intestine. It is characterized by wide variety of symptoms, but the important symptoms are, and this disease is very important in puppies because it affects mostly puppies. There are severe symptoms observed in puppies. The symptoms are progressive emaciation, pot belly condition, coughing, vomition, enteritis, diarrhea and or constipation, intestinal obstruction, signs of pneumonia, and death in puppies. So when you are at clinic, you will find various forms of the symptoms, and for a clinician, this is very important disease. Toxacara canis belong to family Toxocaridae. The genus is Toxacara, and the species we are going to discuss here is Toxacara canis. Otherwise, there are many species of Toxacara in dog, cattle, and other animals. But this Toxacara canis is the most important disease in a dog, parasitic. It causes a gastroenteritis. It belongs to a group of parasitic gastroenteritis. The morphology of the parasite, the adult, the male is 10 centimeter long. It is easily visible from a distance, 10 centimeter. Female is longer, nearly double, 18 centimeter. The egg of Toxocara, means Ascarid eggs, are very characteristic. The color of the egg is dark brown, and the wall of this egg is thick pitted. The wall is thick and there is pitted, serrated, not smooth. And these pits are in albuminous layer. That is characteristic of this egg. To understand the disease, clinician must understand the life cycle. If the clinician do not understand the life cycle, his treatment is not sufficient. As a clinician, if the clinician want to give appropriate treatment, to understand the life cycle is very important to understand the disease. The life cycle of this toxocariasis is direct. There is no intermediate host. And it is complex in nature. How it is complex, we will see. But it is not complicated. It is easy to understand. I will make it very easy to understand. The basic things required for a clinician that I have narrated here. Now we'll see life cycle. Toxacara canis completes its life cycle in dog. One thing, very simple thing. Only one species is required. But in body there is complexes. This adult worm lies in intestine of dog. The adult worm in the intestine of dog. The adult female lays large number of the eggs, and that is containing larva 1, first stage larva. Now the eggs are in the environment. There is embryonation of egg develop into second stage larva L2. This is the infective larva. L2 is the infective larva, and it develop in the egg in warm, humid environment. Remember, now the egg contain infective L2. Thick wall of the egg is a protective, very resistant, sturdy egg containing infective L2. The egg containing infective larva L2 ingested by a dog. This infective egg hatch in the intestine and release the larva L2. This L2 penetrates the intestinal wall and it causes damage there, inflammation and edema of the intestinal wall. L2 penetrates the intestinal wall. From there, it migrates to the portal circulation in the blood. The L2 reaches to the heart and it reaches in the systemic circulation. Now this L2 is in a systemic circulation blood. Now it is interesting what happened to this L2 in systemic circulation. Now it is in L2 in the circulation, systemic circulation. Now the L2 is circulating in systemic circulation. There are many things happens. One chance is from systemic circulation it goes to lung, become L3. Then it go to the heart. In younger dogs, the larva migrate through the lungs, L3. From the lungs, it reaches to bronchi and bronchiole, bronchial tree. Then it is cuffed up into the mouth. From the mouth, it is swallowed by the dog. Goes to esophagus. Then again go to the small intestine and develop L4 and then L5. And finally develop adult worm. An adult worm, female, they lay eggs in the small intestine and eggs come out in feces. This is the simplest life cycle. But it is complex, not simple. This is one. By systemic circulation, what happens that narrated one possibility. One thing happens. Through systemic circulation, the larva migrate to lung, to intestine, and again lay eggs. Then from systemic circulation, the L2 migrate into the various somatic tissue. Previously we have seen lungs. Now it migrate into various somatic tissue. Another possibility. One possibility is migration through lungs. The other route is various somatic tissue. And the L2 settle into the various organs of the body from systemic circulation. L2 may settle in liver or lungs or kidney or brain or again small intestine. So any tissue from the circulation, they can settle, L2 can settle in any tissue. These are the most common tissue we have mentioned: liver, lungs, kidney, brain and small intestine. And in these organs, the L2 insists if the dog is older than 5 weeks. If the dog is older than 3 months, there is an ancestation happen. They stay there, lying dormant there. Now, in the older dogs, we have seen that in various organs, the L2 remain encysted in various organs. These encysted stage are reactivated during pregnancy. They are not remaining idle. They are reactivated during pregnancy at about 43rd, this is approximate, 43rd days of gestation, approximately. And this pregnant bitch infect the fetus by transplacental L2 cross the placenta and reach to the fetus and infect the puppies by transmammary route through milk. This is after whelping. This is during fetus. Transplantal placental during fetal stage. Transmammary route through milk after whelping. Now coming to this transplacental L2 that cross the placenta, that is in fetus. L2 cross the placenta, enter fetus, migrate to liver, then migrate to lung, become L3, and after whelping, after birth, the adult worm established in the intestine of puppies. See how the God has made life cycle. The adult worm established in the intestine of puppies. Again in puppies, L4 migrate the lungs, tracheal migration, coughing, swallowed, reach to the small intestine, become L5, worm become adult and lay eggs after 3 weeks. Now these puppies which have received the L2 when it is in the womb of or uterus of the mother, now after delivery the puppies start spreading the infection. The adult parasite in the intestine of the puppies start laying eggs. We have seen transplacental transmission. Now the lactating bitch transmit through transmammary route through milk or colostrum. The L3 pass in the colostrum up to 3 weeks after whelping and infect the puppies. And thus, the infective eggs are excreted both by lactating bitches and puppies. See, the life cycle is very complex, but it is not complicated, very easy. And for a clinician to understand this thing, because it helps in treatment, it helps in control, it helps in prevention, it helps in eradication. Life cycle in human beings, because the owner, attendant of the animal is human beings. They have their families, they have their children, and we as a clinicians are also human beings. So we have to be careful. The humans are the accidental host, and the human become infected by ingesting infective eggs in a contaminated soil. Because the dog has a habit of defecating anywhere in the garden, anywhere outside. After ingestion in the human being, the eggs hatch and the larvae penetrate the intestinal wall, and through circulation they reach a wide variety of tissues: liver, heart, lungs, brain, muscles, eyes. The same thing has happened in dog. The things happen in human being also. Now here, the larvae do not undergo any further development in these sites, but they can cause a severe local reaction to this toxocariasis. This is important pathogenesis in human being. Severe local reactions. And here in human being, two main clinical presentation of toxocariasis occur. One is the visceral larva migrans, popularly known as VLM. When the larvae are migrating through viscera, they produce signs. And other is ocular larva migrans, when the larvae migrate to the eyes, OLM. Friends, I have narrated life cycle in bit detail, but it is required. It is useful, it is fruitful. Because life cycle is direct, but it is complex. So all facets of transmission I have narrated here. It is important for the students, veterinary students, as well as veterinarian also, and practitioners. Share this information to veterinarians and veterinary students. Subscribe this channel. Thank you very much for observing this video.